Tonight's broadcast is made possible by a generous donation from the Berkeley Heights 5K charity road race and fitness walk. To learn more, go to berkeleyheightsc5k.com.
Welcome to This Week in Berkeley Heights, brought to you in part by thealternativepress.com, Berkeley Heights' daily online newspaper, owned and operated by local residents. I'm Michael Shapiro, owner and publisher of thealternativepress.com and president of the Rotary Club of Berkeley Heights. Each week, This Week in Berkeley Heights will bring you a roundup of the latest news in Berkeley Heights and a look ahead at events around town. Later on in this broadcast, in our community segment, we will speak with Dr. Patrick Smith of Smith Chiropractic and Nicole Bendish, a Governor Livingston student. And during our business segment, Marcella Giancarella and Mort O'Shea from Hilltop Community Bank in Berkeley Heights. Each year, more than 1 million people in the United States are diagnosed with cancer, but one fundraiser that helps save many lives is the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. On Wednesday, January 30th, Berkeley Heights held their annual kickoff event for the Relay. In addition to Berkeley Heights, Summit, Mountainside, and New Providence participate as well. It is taking place Saturday, June 8th, beginning at 3 p.m. at Governor Livingston High School and concludes Sunday, June 9th at 7 a.m., and it's the largest Relay for Life in the Eastern Division of the American Cancer Society. The walk represents a day in the life of a cancer patient. It begins at sundown with a survivor walk, where cancer survivors at the event take the first lap around the track. Relay for Life events also recognize and celebrate caregivers who give time, love, and support to their friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers facing cancer. The Luminaria ceremony takes place after dark, so people who lost the fight to cancer can be remembered, honor people who have fought cancer in the past, and support those whose fight continues. Candles are lit inside of personalized bags and are placed around the relay track as glowing tributes to those who've been affected by cancer. As the participants become tired and weary and walk into the late hours of the night, it is symbolic of a cancer patient's fight to live. It concludes with a victory lap, which signifies a person's survival of cancer, and top teams and totals are announced. Several members of the Rotary Club of Berkeley Heights delivered Meals on Wheels at Sage Elder Care in Summit on Tuesday, January 29th. The Rotarians delivered meals to local seniors in Berkeley Heights, New Providence, Summit, and Springfield, providing a hot and cold meal to approximately 60 adults. Pictured left to right are Mike Del Duca, Alan Feigenbaum, Pam Steiner, Judy Cronenberger, Hal Domey, and Linda Sawsville. One of the members commented that they were glad to participate and hope to help again. For more information on volunteering at Sage or the Meals on Wheels program, call 908-273-5554 or visit www.sageeldercare.org. For more information about the Berkeley Heights Rotary Club, call 908-447-6290. At this week's meeting of Boy Scout Troop 68 in Berkeley Heights, Detective Brian Way from the Union County Sheriff's K-9 Unit, who is also an Eagle Scout, came to talk about his job as a K-9 officer. He also brought the German Shepherd Chance, who is trained to find narcotics. Way spoke about the different jobs he is called to and what he does on a day-to-day basis. Then he let Chance off the leash, and the dog tracked around the room until he found a box of narcotics that Way had hidden earlier. The scouts were very impressed with the performance of the dog in finding the drugs that were hidden and would like to thank Officer Brian and Chance for stopping by our troop, said Senior Patrol Leader Noah Bolt. Matthew Mascarella, Junior Assistant Scoutmaster, agreed. The troop learned a lot from Officer Brian and Chance, including how their unit operates and the type of calls they respond to, Mascarella said. On senior night, the Governor Livingston seniors did not disappoint, as they combined to score 40 of the Highlanders' 54 points in a 25-point victory over Jonathan Dayton on Friday night. The Highlanders improved to 15-4 on the season. Senior Aaron Ferguson led all scorers with 22 points for Governor Livingston and was followed by fellow senior Mallory George's 10 points. On Friday, February 1st, Dr. Robert Brenner of Summit Medical Group addressed health care at the Suburban Chamber of Commerce's monthly breakfast at the Grand Summit Hotel. Brenner said he was there to help people understand the economic model of health care. The cost of health insurance is increasing, and for a 4-person family, it has risen to $21,000 per year, he said. One of the big problems in health care today is that there's no transparency, Brenner said. The Affordable Care Act, while it has good intentions, won't actually cut costs for at least 10 years, he said. Costs are going to go up, Brenner added. Looking at the big picture, Healthcare in this country is in really bad shape, he said. People are spending way too much money as they get older, and the outcome isn't what it should be. We're not doing a great job in the United States, he said. Legislators want to keep costs low and provide the best quality care for people, but this is quite challenging, Brenner added. Doctors have to decide who gets what medicine, how much, how long a patient can stay, when they can leave, and insurance factors into all of this. He said it's also important for hospitals to become more integrated and close the gaps in communication between administrators, nurses, and doctors. Everybody should be on the same page and know what's going on, he said. Etya Novick, owner of the Respira Salt Wellness Center in Berkeley Heights, said she found Brenner's presentation very informative. I thought it was just fascinating from my own experiences in healthcare, Novick said. We'll be right back after this short commercial break to speak with Dr. Patrick Smith and Nicole Bendish.
Packers. Vikings. Packers. Vikings. Vikings.
Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Welcome back to This Week in Berkeley Heights. Joining us here in the studio are Dr. Patrick Smith and Nicole Bendish from the Smith Chiropractic Foundation and the Berkeley Heights 5K. It's good to have you.
Hi.
Thanks, Mike.
Hi,
It's good to be
have
here.
you. Good to see you. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the foundation and the Berkeley Heights 5K.
Okay. Well, the foundation was created to house the our primary fundraising event, which is the Berkeley Heights 5K Charity Road Race and Fitness Walk. This year, we were blessed to have our 16th annual event. Beautiful weather again. We hosted a record number of people. We had almost 550 participants. We had over 150 smiling faces running across the Memorial Field, ages 2 to 12 in our free fun runs. And as a result of a record amount of attendance and a record number of corporate and local business patrons that help us, pay the light bill for the race, we raised a record amount of money this year. So we're really, really excited about, and I want to talk a little bit about all the things we're doing because, the fact that we have more funds means we can do more things within the community. So it's really awesome.
That's great. And I think, Nicole, you were the assistant race director, right?
Yes, I was. I was mostly in charge of publicizing the race within Governor Livingston because I'm a senior at the high school. I was a part of packing the envelopes and packing the bags and preparing on race day, coming early, coming ready, and getting everything ready. And it was a really good experience.
Yeah, she was great. She recruited help to help stuff the bags. We had, what do we have? 28 pieces that went in each one of our goodie bags for participants. So she rounded up some of her friends. They came over. We bought the pizza and they stuffed bags for hours and hours and hours to prep those up. We have to put flyers out on the course before the race. We really believe in that and in notifying all the residents so that they're not inconvenienced. So she was out there again helping us with that, typing all the letters, all the due diligence that goes involved with it, inviting businesses to become patrons, putting packets together, creating databases. She was fantastic. She helped with all of it. And I think hopefully it was a good learning experience.
It definitely was.
She saw how, how giving back to the community, how it really does work, and also what it takes to put an organization together. It's more than most people think, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not just a race to run. It gives back to the community, and it's something that benefits my community that I live in and his community that he works in. So it's definitely for both sides a really good thing.
And can you talk a little bit about some of the recipients?
Yeah,
this year?
so I brought a list so I didn't forget anybody. It's on our website, berkeleyheights5k.com. But last year, organizations that we were able to raise money for, the Berkeley Heights Education Foundation, Sage Spend a Day, which is an adult daycare center and Alzheimer's Center in Summit, the Berkeley Heights Police Athletic League, obviously youth sports is really important for getting kids involved in things. The Area Baby Center that provides support for local infants and families in need. The Summit Speech School in New Providence that helps hearing impaired preschoolers. Our House Inc., which provides group home and assists developmentally disabled adults here in our community. Really fantastic. I have a couple of families in my practice that have developmentally disabled adults, children. So I see the benefit of having organizations like that. The Berkeley Heights Rescue Squad, the fire department here in town, the Rec Commission, Family Promise, which acts through interfaith hospitality networks to help families and individuals in need, the Santa Claus Shop and Summit, which helps keep the spirit of giving alive for over 600 local families, the Berkeley Heights Public Library Foundation. They're always in need of some help. The Wounded Warrior Project, which is something near and dear to me. I wear their pin on my jacket for all the functions that I do, and they help servicemen and women returning from Iraq and Afghanistan with all of their needs, so it's a really good one. We help the VFW Post 6259 here in Berkeley Heights, and something that a lot of folks don't know is that they have a rental space. They have a lounge area. We helped them host their first annual community barbecue, which hopefully there'll be the second one coming up in September again this year. And they go out, and I've been with them. The guys from the Post, most of them are Vietnam veterans now, and they go out to Lions Hospital and provide parties and resources for some of the folks locked up, at the hospital and, with their injuries and so forth. So it's really, they provide a labor of love over to the Lions Hospital. So that's really fantastic. The Summit Area Red Cross, and we were able to, with the flexible nature of our event, we were able to provide a bigger donation for Superstorm Sandy relief this year. So we were really, really proud about that. We also help Home First. It's an interfaith housing and family service organization here in Union County. The Suburban Chamber of Commerce Foundation, we help underwrite the Joe Ciulo Scholarship that's given to a GL senior every year, with an emphasis on seniors who give back to the community, because we really believe in that. We were able to help underwrite the cost at Governor Livingston High School here, the Impact Concussion Testing Program, which we really believe in, and I know a lot about it as a doctor. The Berkeley Heights Summit in New Providence League of Women Voters, and we actually had a booth at our last event where we were signing people up to vote that hadn't registered yet. So it was really fantastic, and it wasn't just kids either, it was adults. Last but not least on our list was Berkeley Heights TV. Here, Comcast 34, Files 47, This Week in Berkeley Heights, which we're really happy to support because we think it's a fantastic resource, a growing resource, and we look forward to the day when everybody in Berkeley Heights tunes in each week to get their news and learn more about the good things that are going on in the community. So we're really happy with all of those. And then, without being too long-winded, I'm an Irishman, so I could talk all day here. This year we did a couple of exciting things. We helped the Hark Foundation, which they did, a group of guys did an expedition in New Hampshire to raise awareness for ALS, and they experienced the worst weather ever in the White Mountains of New Hampshire and Green Mountains, the Presidential Range. I think it was 30 below zero the day that they were at Mount Washington. So two of them completed it, and they're making a documentary. It's going to be really fantastic. So they're working on the documentary part right now. I spoke about the increased Super Sandy relief. The Highlander Foundation just this past weekend had their Meatball Madness, and we found out that they still needed some money for the field turf program that we helped fund many years ago, so we're able to jump on board with that. And then there's also, there was a businessman in town. We were able to establish a special needs fund for him, and a lot of business folks came out to support that. And also we're working with Mayor Bruno on a project for the Springfield Avenue Flag Project, which is going to be really exciting. This year is the 40th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War, and we want to kind of collectively, celebrate all the vets in town. So our plan is, and maybe you'll hear it here first on This Week in Berkeley Heights, we're going to line Springfield Avenue with American flags from Memorial Day to Veterans Day this year. So it's really going to be a cool project, very patriotic. So, and Berkeley Heights is a great town, and why not?
Oh, that sounds great. Do you have any preview for the 2013 race? Do you know when it's going to take place? Anything like that yet?
I could pull out my phone, but I might turn it on and it might ring. So, but it's generally the third weekend, the third Sunday in September. So I would say we're just closed the books today on the race. So Superstorm Sandy put us a little behind on some of what I could do. We talked, and the people, family members losing homes and things like that. I'm trying to get my mother off the homeless list and back into a house. So, but the 17th annual Berkeley Heights 5K charity road race and fitness walk, backed by the strength and commitment of the Smith Chiropractic Foundation, will go on again this year, and we're looking for another fantastic event, and hopefully we'll have another fantastic associate race director like Nicole was. You know, we were really lucky to have her, and we hope that we'll find another local kid that is looking to give back and learn something as a result.
That sounds good. Is there, for people that want more information about the 5K, is there a website that they can go to?
Our website's really easy, and we'll be updating it with some of the criteria for our board is just about selected the list of who's going to be recipients for this year, and you know, some of our numbers and things. But it's a great little website. It's just berkeleyheigts5k.com.
And is there anything we haven't talked about here tonight that you'd like to mention?
Anything, Nicole?
No, just again, this is a great organization and something I think everyone in Berkeley Heights should really be a part of. You don't have to run. You can just come down to Memorial Field for the 5K and just like experience everything that it is, because Dr. Smith puts his heart and soul into this, and I just think it's a great thing that gives back to the community in multiple ways. So, yeah.
Thanks, Nicole.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you very much. It was great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
We'll have to have you back when it gets closer to race time.
Yeah. We'll get a little plug in.
That's right. That's right.
Hopefully we can do some more good.
That sounds great.
All right, thanks, Mike.
We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
Welcome back to This Week in Berkeley Heights. Joining us here in the studio are Mort O'Shea and Marcella Giancarella from the Hilltop Community Bank. Welcome.
Mike, nice to be back.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for being here. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about Hilltop Community Bank and the services that you offer.
We never miss an opportunity. Thanks, Mike. Hilltop will be 13 years old this month. We were founded as a shareholder-owned bank in the year 2000. And our original headquarters, as we jokingly call our global headquarters, is a storefront in Summit, New Jersey. But our next office, which we opened just a few months after we opened the main office, was here in Berkeley Heights. And we're delighted that Marcella is the manager of our office in Berkeley Heights, does a great job. We also have a branch office in Madison, and we have administrative space in New Providence on Floral Avenue. We are a traditional community bank offering services to individuals, to families, to not-for-profits, and to mostly small businesses. We're a lender, and we've got a lot of money to lend, and we've got a willingness to lend. So we'll do commercial mortgages, lines of credit for businesses, home equity loans, and mortgage loans for individuals. And we're just very pleased at our growth over the years in these neighborhoods and this community.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how a community bank differs from a large mega bank that we see.
Well, you know, Mike, one of our colleagues said our tagline should be Hilltop Community Bank, where a live person answers the phone. And I think in a way that sums up the difference between a small community bank and a large mega bank. A little bit like Cheers, the old TV show where everyone knows your name. When someone walks into Marcella's office, they're going to get a personal greeting from Marcella, from Lisa, from John and David. They're going to feel like they belong. They feel that they're welcome. We offer many of the same products that a large bank can offer because we can buy the technology that allows us to deliver those products, but we deliver it in a personal way, in a way where the individual hopefully feels valued.
And I know this is kind of a subject that's out there in general, so I thought maybe you could reflect a little bit about that. Regarding the regulatory burden that's on community banks, do you believe it's become too onerous?
I do, Michael. And, you know, it's self-serving to say that. But, for example, a few years ago, we did not have a separate compliance officer. That was not a separate position. Our chief operating officer, Detlef Felscher, who does a marvelous job, wears many, many hats, kind of handled that as one of his tasks. But the burden has become a tougher burden. And as a result, we hired a full-time compliance officer a couple of years ago. We're very fortunate. We have an excellent compliance officer, Bob Stepien, who lives right here in Berkeley Heights, and we're fortunate to have him. But that's a position that we didn't have to fill, a small bank like ours, a few years ago. But because of the regulatory burden, that's now a position, an officer position, a senior officer position that we have to pay for. One of the other things that is happening at the right about now is that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which was part of the Dodd-Frank Act, was promised that it really wouldn't impact the community banks. They were going to pick on the big banks. Well, the same regulations apply to us, even though we might not get a visit from the CFPB. We're going to get visited by our own regulators, that is the state of New Jersey, the FDIC, and the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. But they're going to pay attention to whatever the dictates come from the CFPB and impose those when they come and do an exam on us. And those regulations are getting tougher and tougher, more burdensome, and unfortunately, I'm afraid they're going to take away our ability to provide that great service to our customers. So that's a long answer to a short question, but yes, we think the burden has become onerous.
And I know for Hilltop Community Bank, one of the things that you believe really strongly in is giving back to the community. I was wondering if you could each talk about your involvement in the community, because I know you're involved with a million things.
Well, Marcella is a superstar, so Marcella, why don't you tell Mike some of the things that you're involved in?
Well, Rotary, obviously, we're both involved with that. And also bringing the community bank to the community and the community to the bank. We do lunch and learns at the bank and invite the community in, from different sectors amongst Berkeley Heights. One of those in particular this week that's coming up is Summit Medical Group. They're going to host a lunch and learn with one of their registered dietitians about how to fit chocolate into a healthy lifestyle. And it's gotten a huge demand with a very, very, large response from the community, which is nice. We go out to the train station, which we'll be doing tomorrow. We'll do a meet and greet to say hello to those in the community and say, hi, we're here for you. So we put a face to the name out in the community.
And Marcella, you recently co-hosted or co-sponsored an event for the Red Cross, didn't you?
Yes, we did the blood drive. Over with the YMCA across the street with Tiffany. We worked them on the blood drive, and this is the second time that we've done that this year. We actually calendar that, for twice a year, and also Dress for Success as well, with doing the drive for women's clothing, within the office as well, to give back into the community to show that we are here. It's been a wonderful, wonderful response.
Now, that Dress for Success, that's a program where folks will donate gently used clothing that can be given to women who are trying to get back into the workforce and perhaps can't afford to go on a shopping spree themselves, but they can get very nice clothing because of your efforts. Went into Marcella's office and she had clothing racks in the lobby. She was really doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
Well, that's great. I guess for people that want to find out more information about Hilltop Community Bank, you want to give out your contact information, the bank's contact information?
Sure. Well, let me give my phone number because I can still remember it, Mike. It's Mort O'Shea, and my direct dial is 908-918-2400. My email address is O'Shea without the period and without the apostrophe, just lowercase MOSHEA at, and all one word, all lowercase, hilltopcommunitybank.com.
Well, that's great. Is there anything that we haven't talked about here tonight that you'd like to mention?
Just, Mike, we are, very pleased to do what we do in the communities that we serve, be it Summit or Madison or Berkeley Heights. It's fun for us to be part of the community. It's fun for us to go out at lunchtime and be able to say hello and be recognized by so many people in the community. We enjoy our participation, whether it be in Rotary, the Chamber of Commerce, where we'll have, I think, something coming up. Even this past Friday, we had a meeting with the Chamber of Commerce. I'm an officer of the Chamber of Commerce, and it's just fun for us to be part of this community.
Well, that sounds great. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Mike, good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you.
Thank you. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. This has been This Week in Berkeley Heights, brought to you in part by thealternativepress.com, Berkeley Heights' locally owned and operated online daily newspaper. Special thanks to the Berkeley Heights Communications Committee and the Governor Livingston TV crew for their hard work and dedication in making this show happen. And thank you to you, our viewers. For these and other local news stories, visit thealternativepress.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sign up on the site to receive your news via email. Have a news tip or suggestion? Email editor@thealternativepress.com or call 908-279-0303. Until next time, for thealternativepress.com, I'm Michael Shapiro. Good night, Berkeley Heights.
Tonight's broadcast is made possible by a generous donation from the Berkeley Heights 5K charity road race and fitness walk. To learn more, go to berkeleyheightsfivek.com.